I was just not myself and I felt like bouncing back. So they robbed Peter to pay Paul and do so many obscene things that they're not supposed to do. And before you know it, the world inside becomes blocked. The world outside is not attractive. So they begin to look for the world beyond, especially when they have become helpless, hopeless, and worthless. They just feel, why am I wasting time? I've become a burden to everybody. Nobody likes me. Let me just end it and rest, and everybody will rest. And that is the denial.
So you can get to that saying that the talk of this is something that is a gradual thing that someone just take at once.
It's not a 100 meters dash. Even you come to meet some people who will say, well, I didn't really think of suicide. It just came. Something must lead to something before something happens. So it's a journey. Something must lead you there. And often, the bad and the ugly trend. When a man leaves his personal lifestyle protocol and begins to deviate, giving attention to distraction and things that does not go well for his personal lifestyle, the journey of 1,000 miles, people say, begins with a step. Either in the right direction or in the wrong direction. That's another question altogether. So issues like depression can lead there. In fact, depression is strong a road to suicide, where instead of managing your thoughts and your feelings and your thoughts are the one packaging and managing you to do it wrong. That's why you will cause damage. Damage to yourself, to your psyche, damage to everything that contains your value and your worth, and then damage to others. You come from a family, and of course, if you are beginning to think suicidal, you know you are not on the right path.
Particularly in the attempted commit suicide attract 1 year in jail. So if I'm asking, do you think trying to jail people that attempt suicide, would that deter other people from committing suicide? Or would that more like regardless of if you are to jail you, people will still commit suicide, will still try and commit that act?
See, before anybody goes the track of suicide, something leads him or her there. So incrimination, adjudication is not the solution. It is intervention, not even motivation or education. To say, why would we need to die? You don't need to die. Things can always change. That is motivation. But intervention, and in intervention, you do 4 things by the order of idea method. I identify what the root cause is. D, define the status of the individual on that track. E, evaluate what is the current position and why trending that route. And A, administer therapy based on those observations. So to say, okay, let's make it a criminal offense does not deter it. Rather, it will worsen it. Because the man going out there to kill himself does not see anything good anywhere. And so, you see, their mindset is completely outside of this world. So to say it will deter others is not a solution, because the one who wants to die wants to die. And so no matter what you are saying here, is none of his concern. So that is why the judicial whatever and saying, okay, it's a crime. I think the individual needs help more than incriminating him. The guy that wanted to take his life, if I have my way, I will work on him, identify the root cause analysis, and work him away from suicide, and brand him to become his best version without the troubles.
So you're saying the way you want to fix it, you do the right thing instead of working away from suicide. So if I may ask, what would be the advice you give? Because from what you've identified,
Yes,
the government is not going to the right side. What will be your
When you
advice?
said it, I don't know which government you are talking about.
I mean, Nigerian government
Okay,
incriminating
incriminating suicide victims.
Yes.
Well, somebody who is needing help and you say is criminal to die. Well, that is the law. But we're saying beyond law, there should be the moral face to say, hey, this guy actually needs help. Something must have triggered him to want to kill himself. No man, I say it again, no human being will ever love to die. But something must have pushed him to that end and he feels of virtues living. And you see, we're only talking about the ones we know. How about myriads of cases we don't even know about? Who takes sniper, who does something to himself just secretly and silently. So when people sleep, they don't get to wake up. It's not maybe natural. They may have taken something you don't really know. So incriminating it is not the way because it doesn't serve as a necessary deterrent for others. Once an individual is depressed, nothing normal goes upstairs. He wants to misbehave and that big time.
Finally, people that are crossing into another people having suicide because some people might argue that finally he did this, he was happy watching this series, he talked well, and yesterday going to his room, he dragged the drugs. How is there a way so I can identify people that have this tendency of committing?
You look at the signs and the symptoms, not just for suicide, but for depression, for stress, for addiction, and some other variables because they belong to the same psychotic field. In fact, we call them false causes. When you notice an individual is beginning to withdraw, isolate himself, what does he say frequently that is different from his normal self? How does he carry himself now? What are his utterances? I'm tired. I feel like resting it. I feel like calling it quit. And generally, you see, it begins step by step. At first, they will talk about something public, general. We'll see Nigeria, try Japan, and then they start mentioning their frustration. From there, they bottle it in and take things personal. I'm tired. I feel like play. Don't ever dare think, oh, it's just a human and a play. Lend a helping hand. Go close to such an individual. Find out his frustrations. Show care. When you show care, and then you can get a bit of what he or she is passing through, then speak up and out at the right quarter where we can take a diagnosis, maybe by telephone call or whatever, and then walk that person away from that idea. So very vital, be your neighbor's keeper, and then hear what he or she is saying that is different from his or her normal self. What about his attitude? Is he withdrawing now? Look at his level of tolerance. Is he becoming irritable? Is he flaring up? What makes him happy? Is he withdrawing? Are things now just cramping upon him and he begins to speak negative stuff all of the time, getting mad and angry? And there are some who will not even show all of these indices, but listening to their statements. Watch their trends, their terminologies. Look at their reservations and observations now. And just lend a helping hand. Meet obvious cases where people say, I'm just tired, fed up of everything. Or somebody is beginning to give some message of suspicion. Where you might need this number later. You might need this later. And somebody is giving, or I want to travel. They can say joyfully because to them, The addiction will have told them, you see, you will soon rest and end it. And they can keep a smile. And when somebody is depressed, depending on the type of depression, there are some depression that will manifest even while you are smiling, you feel happy. Meanwhile, underneath, there are some other issues. Look at bipolar depression. For example, bipolar depression. A man who has bipolar depression, in the afternoon is very radiant. At night, it's something else. It switches across poles. He's happy now. Before you know it, he's sad. And all of those stuff. So when you see something outside of the normal, abnormal, either in usage, in character, in habit, in attitude, please speak up and out. And our phones are out there to trail and track issues of abnormality. To find a young guy there who is right down into drugs and all of that and cannot help himself. He's gone to several rehabs. That's our work. We take them from the rehab center and walk them back to their default setting so that they can find life again. It's not enough to go through the rehab. You need some certain intervention there that will pull out the evidence of addiction and set that person back to full expression without the drugs.
Thank you very much.
I thought he has asked just one question.
No, he
There's
asked
the
two.
second question.
So the first one, they already asked.
Oh, I have 3 questions.
Oh, yeah.
Please, because he had a follow-up to what you have to say.
Dr. Lami, I'm doing the TV. Just sit down. I'll meet you now.
Sorry. Thank you so much. Even though we came early and you attended to us, it's just past 2. Sorry to have.
Your boss is a politician. She will pay my full bill. Okay, you want to remove it?
I stay away from politics. I stay with social issues. I don't do politics. No bias at all. I keep it as
This one will not be there. Okay, you are true.